Yes. Hello. Please, if you can hear me, could you please confirm if you can hear me? Hello. Hello, Mark. Please, could you confirm if you can hear me? Mama.
Hello. Hello. I can't hear anything.
Hello, sir. Please, could you confirm if you can hear me? Please, can you hear me? Or mute yourself. Can anyone hear me?
Hello, Amaka.
Can you hear me?
All right.
Hello,
I want to be
Amaka.
sure that I'm being heard.
Awesome. I wanted to be sure that I'm not by myself.
I can hear you, but Mark Z is not talking. I just saw him now.
Yes.
Okay. So I've not introduced him. That's why he's not talking yet. He'll soon start talking.
No.
Thank you so much.
This
meeting is an incredible meeting. It has to go.
Apologies, please.
Okay, so we are live on
Sorry, the
on
rain, the
YouTube.
rain has not helped our network. Sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all
I
good.
was battling between my phone and the laptop.
Okay, so we're
Yeah,
live on
I mean,
YouTube. We'll have a couple of guests in here, but our audience is on YouTube. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone who joined yesterday. Thank you to all our guests who accepted to be a part of our journey, particularly on this dimension. Every one of them have contributed or are doing their bits in their space to make sure that every child they are able to reach is groomed into a champion and all our kids become kings. I usually will say that in every child, there's a champion. In every kid, there is a king. It's the one that you raise that will eventually manifest. All right? So this is Disruptive Parenting Summit 2022. And the voice you're hearing is Amaka's voice, who happens to be privileged to be the convener of the summit. I am a coach, a family life therapist. I'm a mental health practitioner and author. I wear many caps, but for this particular occasion, I am the convener of the Disruptive Parenting Summit. We had an incredible time yesterday when we talked about visionary parenting. If you were not there, make sure you catch up today. Everything that is possible that you're able to get today, please get it. All right. Moving on, everybody who is lined up, all 30 incredible individuals who are lined up for this summit are people who I honor and respect a lot. They are people that I honor and respect a lot. They're individuals who are doing so much where they are. In fact, our guest is just coming out from a stakeholders meeting to be a part of this. That's to show his level of commitment to the next generation. All right. I'm going to just do a brief introduction of him as we move on. With the event proper. All right. When he comes, he can shed light, right? But I just want everybody to know that he's my big brother and I'm flexing it. All right. So, you know that
there's no time.
Feeling. That's what I'm enjoying this time, right?
All right.
So it's one man I honor and respect. I met him in the Timfa family and we connected. You know, every time he will just slip into my DM and drop a note as you're trying, you're doing well, and I'm feeling cool, right?
Yeah.
And in Timfa, he's our immediate past president of the entire alumni. And I had the privilege of working with him one-on-one to bet what we now have as leadership or put some level of structure in the system. And I truly honor the wisdom, the knowledge, his servant leadership. He's someone who is accessible and is doing a lot in the family life space, particularly committed to teenagers and grooming the next generation, so that we can have better marriages. All right. So, and then can I tell you, he has joined us in the Disruptive Parenting Academy. And see, when he called me up and said, I want to get certified too, I was blown away, right? So if people like this can actually sign up for the academy and go to the classes, I don't know what you all are waiting for. All right. So without much ado, I want him to just have all the time to speak to us and bless everyone who is a parent here, who is a parenting coach, who is working with teenagers, who is in children's ministry, who is a nation builder. And because you're committed to the nation where you live or you're Nigerian, you want the next generation to do better and do more. In fact, there's no better time to do this program that we're doing now, because a whole lot. I was sharing with them yesterday that if you didn't know it, know now that the soul of the next generation is in serious contention. And all hands must be on deck, particularly the hands of every stakeholder. So I want us to, give him a beautiful, 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 beautiful disruptive parenting welcome. Oh, big bros. The stage is yours, Mazi Eninaya.
Thank you.
So yes, go ahead.
Maximum respect. Maximum respect. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen that are within the sound of my voice. Those of us in Africa, good evening. Those who are outside our timeline. I also want to say welcome. Thank you, welcome, Auntie Ami. Thank you, Auntie Ami, for this body that you have pushed this far. I want to thank God for that momentum, that has led you to hold on. I think that there is, I'm having a feedback. Let me stop my laptop and be sure I'm speaking from one. Let me be speaking from my phone. Sorry, maybe the rain has made the network a little challenging. Fine. So disruptive parenting. Talking about parenting that is novel, parenting that parenting that is modern, and yet principal parenting. When we talk about disruptive technology from the IT world, you are looking at technology that can stand in the days we find ourselves, technologies that can solve problems, that can add a value, as it were. So in this series, and a 1-month series, I'm sorry, I've not really been joining before now. I will try. Thank God for the holiday that is ahead of us. I will try and also hear other ministers, in this program. So that dimension I'm looking at is mentoring the boy child. Mentoring the boy child today, panacea for healthy marriages tomorrow or in future. Some of the news that has been in the airwave around our nation, we intend to see adults that are not doing well. But for me, I see the foundation on which, if something had been done at the boy level, then the adult would have been better today. The popular scriptural verse in Proverbs 22 talked about training up a child in the way he or she should go. Let me add that most time when we say he, and the things, God did not have them in mind. So we train up a child on the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from that way. I looked at some other translations. The good news says, train a child how they should live, and they will remember it all their life. Fine. So the boy child for me should be a case study. Yeah, over time, we have taken it for granted. We have taken it for granted because it looks as if the boy child is not carrying anything that breaks. compared to the uniqueness of the female child. Therefore, every attention is on the female child who can get pregnant, who can get raped, whom the Bible called the weaker vessel. Offenses and all of that, mishandling, abuses are more tilting to the female child. So it looks as if we all abandon the boy child and we are trying to shield as much as possible, inform the girl child, teach them strategy, how to resist abuse and all whatnot. And in a quest to do that, the source of that abuse, where the problem is, we have not consciously remembered that getting this problem solved from the root would have been who abuses the girl child. Why not we target that source of the problem, and the problem would have been over, instead of allowing the boy child going where they are going, as in a crude way, allowing them grow the way they are growing. When we are giving, in most families, when you're telling the girl child, oh, you will not stay beyond, you will not be outside beyond 6 o'clock. Nobody fears for the boy child. He throws in by 8 is all right. He throws in by 9 at night is all right. The company he keeps is all right. So that for me, I think, was a disservice to God, who created both male and female and said what he created was good. So allowing the boy child continuing the vices which we have seen over time from our culture, traditions, environment, and all of that. There is this stereotype for the male child, and it has eaten deep into how we take the boy child, and a whole lot of meat around it. And it has not been, for me, it's not balanced. You see a well-trained, informed girl child, at the end of the day, falls in love with a boy child that was not trained and informed. And that equation. Okay, I'm back. So that equation does not balance, where we have a one-sided training and the other person goes on just like that because he has no womb where he can carry pregnancy, because our environment tells us the boy child does not cry. The boy child is strong. Boys don't cry. Boys are this, are that. So those lies, has continued from generation to generation, and so we abandon the boy child. So that for me is where my advocacy lies. Then looking at that word again, train up a child. I work in the transport sector, and we all know the train. And one thing about the train is that there is a locomotive and there are coaches lined up that the locomotive drags. So the technology of the train is that once the locomotive is on the rail, all the coaches will join on that rail. So train up a child. So there is a follow-up. Once the head is there, locally we say the head of the train, that is the locomotive that drags. Some locomotive drags up to 20, 30, 40 coaches. So that is the train. I want us to look at train up a child from that technology of the train. when there's a derailment of the train, the coaches cannot derail except they detach. It is until the locomotive derails before the coaches can derail. So, in other words, when the child, our children now, we are the head, we are the coach, the man and the wife, they are the locomotive, they are leading the way. The children were supposed to socket, on the locomotive. They are like the coaches. If the head does not veer or derail, as it were, technically speaking, then everything remains on the line. The journey continues successfully, except the head derails. We are the head. The man and the wife, we are the head. So we need to train, and I want to say that our culture also has made the issue of training, children upbringing, to be like the wife's job or the woman's job. That is the lie from the pit of hell. I call, in my marriage seminar, I address the man as the CEO. The man is the CEO if marriage was a company, if it was a corporation, if it was an entity. The man is the CEO. And because you're the CEO, everything rises and falls on you, the man. It is not the African way. When a child is doing well, he's my son, he's the son of his father. When a child is not doing well, then the mother has spoiled that child. No, that is not fair. That is not fair. The man is the CEO. Just like in the business, in business, I have not seen a CEO that has a company and is applying to change or to look for another job. CEOs don't. He's the last man standing. Like in selling, he's the captain of the ship. No captain runs and leave his passengers to drown. No. The captain is the very last person to leave the ship. That is what it should be for the man. No matter the subject at home, the man should be the last man standing. He shouldn't point fingers to anybody. The house help, the wife, whoever, the man shouldn't point fingers. You are the CEO. Wherever you put the temperature of the home, that is where the home stands. I'm bringing it this way because I am talking about mentoring the boy child. So this dysfunctional or dysfunctional cultural beliefs and behavior that has, lasted over decades. So the child goes to play football. There is no timetable for him. He from riding the bicycle, he goes to football. He moves about. No timetable for the boy child. But the girl child, there's a timetable. Oh, remember, you're going to come and do dishes by this time. I remember we need to cook by this time. At a very tender age, 9, 10, 11, the girl child already has this mindset. I have responsibility. Whereas the boy child go riding bicycle, play football, nothing tells him, I am on a journey, and I need to start patterning my life. The father is not ready to let him know. In fact, the exploits he gets from outside, that is where we say, he's boy enough, he's man enough. Then when he comes home, I will use a lot of stories, to illustrate some of them, the decadence we have had, in recent times. A friend in Port Harcourt had his boy, a graduate who was serving in Abuja, where I stay. I came to Lagos for a meeting, actually. I stay in Abuja. So, and because we knew ourselves in school, scripture union and all of that, so he just God will help me. Sorry, the network keeps switching. Father, I receive stability on this network. Amen. So I was asked to take care of this young man, to have an eye on him. You know, he's a young man, he's done with his university and was serving. And somehow it was arranged for him to be in Abuja. And once in a while, a house was gotten for him, a boys' quarter somewhere at the Highbrow area of Abuja. You know, so I moved in after work. Sometimes I move in. Oh boy, how are you? How do you do? You know, so had a bed and 2 seats. His parents are well-to-do, and so I just, what did you cook today? You know, not as if I want to eat, but just to find out how he's doing. Is the uncle cook? You know, so. And I took it easy the first time I had that response. So about 3 months into the service, I also went around and found out that the cam gas and the pots, where I saw it a month ago, it was still at that same point. He said, no, uncle, he doesn't cook. In fact, that he doesn't know how to cook. You know, so how do you manage? He eats out somewhere in a hotel, and Abuja hotel for that matter. You know, so each day, averagely, it takes him about 4,000 to eat if he eats 3 times a day. And allowances for core members. We know how much it is. This is about 4 years now, you know, which even till the 30,000 was just a recent one, about 20-something thousand at that point, 21 or so. So I found out that in a month, all right. So I found out that in a month he spends his allowance, you know, we call it alawi here, cannot keep him. So the parents had to make up for him as he's serving. For a young man that eats average of 3,600 naira daily, he was doing a program that was to last between 10 to 11 months, although a year program. You know, he was being supported from home. You know, I got to find out he came from a home where, because of the type of job and the place that I was working, there was a gardener, there was a cook, there was a driver. You know, they could afford keeping 5 to 6 house assistants, as is been called today. So the disadvantage of that became the fact that these young men and her siblings, they had nothing to do at home. You know, they were forgotten. There was no mentoring whatsoever that these children will become fathers tomorrow. The kids, the ladies will become mothers tomorrow. So, you know, in the midst of the wealth, they forgot the destiny of those children. They forgot the destiny of those children. You know, well, for me, I just thought it was a lesser evil for him to be eating out. Some other ones I know, they had to get into what is the name again? People rehearsing marriage when they are not married, what they cohabiting. There are some other ones I know they were cohabiting. So they have agreement with some fellow core members serving that come home to cook for them and all of. So they were practicing marriage, you know, and it starts from that point. From that point, you know, our local palace, the body no be wood. If a girl comes in to cook for you, you don't know you don't know her parents. You don't even earn your own money. Service. That is youth service, where people earn less than 30,000 naira is not even up to $1. What, you know, $100, $1. So And those are vices from such dysfunctional background where young men and women were supposed to be taught how to take care of themselves and they are not taught. It opens them up to those vices. Somebody start cooking for you. You have not paid dowry on the person's no commitment and all of those relationships. Before you know, unwanted pregnancy can come up there. Even if there's no unwanted pregnancy, you have agreements that people were not sure of their future into, and heart will start being broken, and a whole lot of stories that come from it. So, my advice is that, like my analogy of the train, the locomotive and the coach, that whenever the locomotive is on track, the coaches are on track. So father and mother, the head of the house, which the man takes the lead. I don't want to miss my word. The man takes the lead in that arithmetic. The man takes the lead. He's the CEO, the last man standing, no matter the topic, no matter the issue. No matter the issue at home, the man is the last man standing. Is it how to get a house help, for instance, an assistant at home? Is it about the feeding? Is it the kitchen? The man must be interested, at every part of the life of a home. The man must have an interest. The man must have interest. My little boy, I have okay. I'm back to my laptop. Sorry, it's like the network on my phone is not steady at all. Please, can you hear me? Can you hear? Can you guys hear me? Amaka, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Wow. Am I muted? Can you hear me? All right. Okay. Sorry about that. So the young man, because I got busy with work and all of that, and before they arrived, we married for about 4 years before we achieve our first pregnancy. So, and that was a 4 year, which I don't have regrets, because we did things together. We lived just like boyfriend and girlfriend within those 4 years, even though it was tagged as delay of childbirth from some other quarters. But for us, we thank God that it was an opportunity to get to know ourselves very, very well. We served one another, because I found out that in recent times, most of my mentees, those of them who God blesses and on their wedding night, they achieve pregnancy, so that the 9th month after wedding is childbirth. Wow, some of them, especially where their courtship was not, where they didn't have very sound courtship, it always put them into trouble, because especially where the first 2 months, after wedding your wife, the woman is pregnant, and and when a woman is pregnant, it's just like what they say, women have four seasons. Pregnancy alone changes the season of the woman. And I've seen people who were lovebirds, but because pregnancy arrived for their wife, and when all those changes, one guy said he wants to take his wife home. The wife should go and stay with the mother in the village. Why? What happened? That she was just sending him errand here and there. This backlashes of pregnancy, where a woman wants to eat a certain thing. By the time she gives the request, before that thing arrives, some other thing has become what she wants. So the young man did not understand that. She just thought what has gone into the head of this girl, and is now making me an errand boy in this house. First pregnancy, So when we were together before the children arrived, we were serving ourselves, serving each other. But they arrived, and I got busy somehow. So their daddy was just leave in the morning, come back in the come back at night or early evening, and he served and all of that. So the young man was seeing himself as some of the things, because we discussed parenting. My wife and I, we discussed parenting. And for us, we said, no, we were not going to do any stereotype of job. This is for the girls, this is for the boys. We refuse to do any stereotype when it comes to house chores. They are living beings. There's nothing you cannot learn in our world today. So that's what we decided to do in parenting. Let the boy do the things boys do and everybody does. Let the girl do, whether they want to ride bicycle, let them go and ride bicycle. Let them go and play football. Thank God today you have male football teams, you have female football teams, so there is no football. Football is not a male game, as it were. There are women that play good soccer, So when they give him his own turn to get dishes done and all of that, he just thinks, I'm a boy, I shouldn't be doing that. So when I realized that, I now made a commitment for Saturdays. On Saturdays, I take the dishes, sometimes help do a breakfast and all of that, just to allow him see another side of the father. And one reason why when people hear me say, thank God for COVID. COVID was a season where we were all locked in, and it was an opportunity for, in fact, we had to share our chores. Everybody among, whether daddy, mommy, and the children, they had days that they would serve the whole family. So it helped us to learn how to cook. People had to do dishes. You go to YouTube and we look at the dish together. You write your recipe. Daddy and mommy will provide ingredients, and you go and cook and we eat. So COVID helped us. Those 3-4 months that people were locked in was an opportunity. Your own day, you wash the pots front and back, you do all of those things. And
that for me, you know, changed the outlook of my boy. You know, today he's the most kitchen friendly person. He can do akara, he can do moi, he can do a whole lot of things by himself. In fact, when their mom is calling a helping hand in the kitchen, he appears first, you know, because he saw daddy being part of that arrangement during the COVID. So for him now, so there is nothing. I do iron, I do wash, just to make sure he sees. Like I said, they train. I am the CEO, I am the locomotive. I am supposed to drag my wife because the Bible said she's my helpmeet for me. So there was nothing she was coming to take over from me. I was supposed to know everything. So she just come to give me a helping hand, not as if she came to take over, you know. Yes, women are they are specially designed when it comes to nurturing, carrying the baby and nurturing. God gave them that special design, the womb, the breast, to do all of that work. Fine. But as God may have it, we were 7 boys and a girl. Those days that we didn't have Pampers, I do use napkin. We were boys all through. After our first sister, who was married early those days, you know, married at 17 or 18, I was told, you boy, you will take care of those. Those are the days that children were being spaced, not like today. You know, the elder child has 2 years plus over the other one. They were spacing that our father and your senior. Wonderful job. She taught us everything we should know. And today, my wife is a beneficiary of that. So, like I gave the knowledge about the train, recall, it was Paul. It was Paul that made a comment. And he says in that comment, I will read that, then I will give one more story. When Paul was writing to the Ephesians, he said, encourage the church to be imitators of God as beloved children, imitators of God. For us to parent both the boy and the girl, we need to live knowing that they will imitate us. The best way of parenting is to become what you want the children to be. You know, God said, be imitators of God. Imitate me as I imitate God. You know, look at me as I look at God. and walk in love as Christ loved us and gave himself up. Ephesians 5:1-2, we can read up that place. Let me talk a little about having some balance. We have some we have types of parenting. The permissive, the authoritative, authoritarian, parenting, and all of that. Wonderful idea and wonderful principle putting together. But I am looking at the balance. There need to be a balance. I read an article and it was talking about helicopter parenting, where parents want to oversee their children in all things. You are arranging for people to monitor, as it were, becoming a monitoring spirit over your children. For me, I think that is just going too far. For if you are a Christian, for those who are Christians, whatever the Lord does not help you do, then flesh cannot do. Yes, once in a while you want to follow up on something, an observation or an instinct you had about your child. You want to follow up and see the end, but it doesn't become the way of life. There are some things you see, especially when it comes to the boy child. There are some days, they just dirty everywhere. No, it's not everything you react. So there is a time to be permissive, and there is another time to stand your ground. There are things you stand your ground on, especially as they are under your roof. You stand your ground to say, oh, for me, it is like this. Some of them is around what they wear and all of that. You should stand your ground. Yes, some days they will be on their own, fine. God help them. But if you have trained them and you have insisted on some way of life, then they will not forget. So authoritarian says, it is my way. Permissive says, whatever you need. Unfortunately, we have a lot of parents today that does not have no for some answers. They don't have no. They are very, very apologetic. Sorry. Even the things they shouldn't be sorry about, they are sorry. And that is not too good for them. There are things our children should earn. They shouldn't get everything. They should earn some things. There are things that are exclusive in my home. It is at the end of the school session. It is from the performance that you earn those things. You don't get it free from my house. We have tried to build into family culture. So there's an expectation they have. Oh, if I perform this way, I have a level of expenditure that goes out of my hand because their performance attracts that expenditure. Where my child wanted a bicycle. Bicycle is so much money, especially today. It's plenty money. I didn't. Yes, I would have just said, okay, I'm buying you bicycle next tomorrow and all of. No. We have to get into an agreement to get that bicycle. The bicycle has to be attracted by a level of performance. It was a deal. So he had his sleepless nights, and he got that performance level, and he got a bicycle. So parents should learn how to, allow their children earn some things. Not their school fee and all of that. Those ones are natural things that we need to do in their upbringing. But when it comes, you don't need to just be lenient for everything. Yes, mommy they said, daddy they said, and you are just no. There are some of the things you have to interrogate and find out, follow it, or follow it through. So there is things that we need to be lenient about. There are other things we need to stand our ground, in bringing up our children, especially the boy child. Like I've said again, what counts for them, if they can picture you, doing some things. Another thing is to cry. To cry. I don't know whether your children have seen you as a man cry, even if it is in the place of worship to God. You can cry. You can cry. There is no harm in that. It helps the boy child. It helps the boy child to also cry. Let them know you cry. Let them know you can kneel before the Lord. At home, morning devotion, you can kneel before the Lord.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you can kneel, let the boy know that, oh, there is an authority over my father. There is an authority. Oh, she can worship and he can worship and cry to God. It helps to bring a balance to those children. He has to bring a balance to them. So the things that will help the boys more. Our mothers are doing excellent. They are doing more than syllabus already. And my advice also to the mothers is to please, let's be courageous. Let's have the faith that we can also impact our boys. Let's have the faith that we can also impact our boys. Let's not just say until your father comes back, until your father comes back. No. We can impact them. Most boys are very friendly to their mom. We can impact them. Have time out to, there are sometimes we go for shopping, I shop with the 3 children. Get into the car, let's go and shop for mommy. We go, as we go, we talk. So we have levels of talk for each of them. When we're washing the car, today this girl is helping me, tomorrow his brother is helping me, the other day, who says the girl cannot wash a car?
Yeah.
So it's not only the boy's job. It's not. So let's try. The world we are into now, is so versatile that we have seen men win cooking competition. We have seen women win hairdo competition. We have seen men become the best people to do some certain hairstyles and all of that, and vice versa. So I have seen women who are driving trucks, and with God, there's nothing that is impossible. So let's avoid gender stereotype in our parenting style. Prevent and work against the spirit of superiority, that the man is superior to the woman. We shouldn't for any reason try to teach the boy that. No. It's not good. The issue that God made is our roles. Is the role that is different. There's no superiority. Is the role. The man is the priest of the house. Is the role. It's not because the man is superior. So encourage emotions for the boys. Like I said, all these things that boys does not cry, boys don't cry. No, it's not true. Please, let's allow our children express their emotion. If you as a man can express your emotion, your boy child should also have an opportunity to express his own emotion. The issue of bullying at home, especially from the boys against their female, against their sister, siblings. There are things we should work. In fact, by the time you love your wife, it is a whole lot of lesson to the boy. Just loving your wife, being tender to your wife, call her names, is a whole lesson to the boy who is listening. It's part of the home. It's a big lesson. All right. Engage them. Engaging them is another way to get these things done. And the one I want to mention now is to be their
Wow.
issue together with the boy child. I had to go buy a table tennis board so that I and my boy can at least play. I taught him how to fail when we were playing, the days we were playing Scrabbles, you know. I taught him Scrabble, and I was winning him, and I saw how he feels when he loses the game, you know, until when I encouraged him how to get acquainted with the dictionary, get words, and that is how to. The first day he won me in Scrabble, I knew how excited he was. So we should make an opportunity. The man of the house should have something in common outside the school assignment and all of that. Something, a pastime with the boy, even with the girls. My children play table tennis with me. I bought it for the boy when I bought it because I didn't have time to play football, ride bicycle, but this was indoor. So he has taught the sisters how to play table tennis, and I make it a point of responsibility to make out time to play once in a while. And he gets excited when he wins me. He gets excited, you know. So that helps to bring their humanity, you know, home, you know, and I tell you, whatever they learn from you, you know. So how I feel when he wins me is the lesson to him that sometimes we fail, and failure is not the end of life, you know. I fail sometimes, I laugh it out, and he has learned how to laugh even when he fails. So those things are mentoring, but coming out of games. Things are like games, and so much has been achieved through those games, you know. We should model their behavior. We should be their model. We should be their model. I tell you, examples teaches. Example is what they follow. Children are like the sponge. They soak both the good, the ugly, the bad. The sponge, once you get into water, you know it soaks. Children are like sponge, especially the boy child. Malhandle that woman, then he has a lesson already in his head. Use abusive words on your wife, that is a lesson straight to his head. He has soaked it as a sponge. For me, I came from an abusive family. My father abused my mom. The only savior I had was that I encountered Christ early enough. If not, I think my wife would have been one of my experimental field, as you know, as it were. So it takes God, except they encounter the Lord. And when there's that encounter in God and follow up and discipleship, that is where those things changes. If not, if God is not merciful to change those children, those things they soak, they will have to bring it to their own home, their own relationship and all of that. So the call for the mentoring of the boy child is a call that we shouldn't just do because it's today. The bigger picture in it is that if we want marriages in the near future, tomorrow, marriages to be sane tomorrow, then we need to have that program and projects, making sure fathers and mothers not only pray about their children, but need to live purposefully. That is where the word disruptive parenting comes in. You know, forget about stereotypes. Oh, women sweep the house, men fetch water. Those are stereotypes. Have an open mind and make sure you grant your children opportunity. We don't know, sometimes we don't know what they will become. We have seen people follow a particular trend to become doctor, to become accountant. But some of those children, after they have gone to those up to first degree, we see them come out. Where they are making it is no more where they are schooled. They may be making it another line. Make your children versatile. Let them be versatile both in home chores and life. In life, You love football. Take them along to the field. Let them watch you people play. You know, so all of that will help them, expose them. Things like being streetwise. Streetwise is something that you don't know the day they will catch the knowledge, one knowledge or the other that will really help them in future. So you mustn't just lock them up in the house. No, they need to be streetwise. Take them about, take them around, let them see things by themselves, learn from experiences, see how things are done, and all whatnot. So, in closing, I want to advise that we need to strike a balance in our parenting style, not just being on one quadrant of parenting. You need to be lenient. When there are things necessary to become the helicopter parent, when there's an issue, you need to go down to it to find out whether in school or in neighborhood or the friends of your children, you just need to get down. You know, by the time they use some words that you don't use at home, you must know that, oh, there is a new clique or there is a new, peer. You hear them speak. You should be able to tell you, is this word learned in this house or is coming from? So on such cases, you can run around and find out what is new that this baby has learned. What is new that this boy has learned? Where is that lesson coming from? You can find out those things, you know. So let's create a balance when to look the other way. Yeah, once in a while, my boy will bring his football and we'll be tapping it in the parlor. And I will look the other way around. I'm not there to play with him. He taps in the parlor. So he's allowed once in a while. But it does not, but for a child to every time jump on the settee that you bought with so much money in the house, he's jumping on it, and he does not recognize a child that is 6, 7 years old. He doesn't recognize that thing was bought with money and is costly. And if he doesn't stay the 4 or 5 years the parents wanted to stay, it will affect. And you just allow him to jump and say he's a child. He continues being a child. At 7, 8, 9, 10, he's a child. He's spoiling things in the house, he's a child. No. Then that leniency is too much. You must stand your ground to say, get down from that seat with a high voice to know that, my dad or mother shouldn't be taken for granted. So all this, no, sorry. We are the ones telling our children sorry, even when they should tell us sorry in some things. I see parents apologize so much to their children. No. We must also watch that boundary where we need to stand our ground, and when, yes, we should be a friends and playmate to our children, but there is a point to draw the line. I think on this note, I will want to leave it. Thank you so much for your time accommodating my program that I didn't know I'll be in Lagos, but some of us are still doing 9 to 5 job, and sometimes they just arrest you like that. You don't have a no. Someday we'll be like Amaka, who is an excellency. Yes, CEO, original CEO. She has her time in her pot and can go to. Please, I'm sorry about taking us. So at this point, I will leave it.
Thank you so much. It's great having you guys. Show some love to our very own president. Once a president, always a president. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you for ensuring that this meeting held. I'm excited.
Thank you.
You know, guys, did you see all the things that we had to go through today to be able to host this particular session, because it's talking about the boy child? I'm glad that this meeting eventually held. All right? Because everything that we have learned here today, we would have waved it aside. But no, we have to truly begin to pay attention to the boy child intentionally. I like that part when you spoke about we were grooming the girl child we help the child become the queen, the girl become the queen. But we didn't groom the king in the boy. So the poor boy now goes to marry the queen and doesn't know how to treat her like a queen.
At all. At all.
And people can never be able to do what they don't have. All right. So if we expect him to be a priest, somebody must model priesthood to him. If you expect him to be a servant leader, somebody must model servant leadership to him.
Yeah.
If you want him to negotiate, somebody must model negotiation with him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want him to honor the woman, he must see his father honoring his wife. I like what he said about, if not, your son just watching you. In fact, to a very large extent, I believe that one of the best things you can do for your boy child is to love his mother.
How?
Love his mother.
Yes.
Just let him just watch you love his mother.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right? Just like one of the best things you can do for your girl child is love her father. Submit to her father.
Yeah.
You understand? If we sort out, in fact, if we reduce our prayer points. I always tell my friends that God gave us wisdom to reduce our prayer points. There are many things that we're praying about today that we shouldn't be praying about if we disciple our children.
That's true.
Both biological children and the ones we adopted.
That's right.
Right? Because all of us here now, especially those who are mentors, we have become foster parents to a lot of people. All right. So let's see this role model parenting. Let them see you do those things. Again, I won't get tired of saying it. Our children do what they see us do, not what we command, not what we instruct.
No.
You can't lord it over them. Let them see you do it over and over again. Let them see that it's a lifestyle for you. All right. And so I'm excited that we have one or two other speakers coming who are also going to be focusing on the boy child. Last year one of our guests spoke to the men and their relationship with their boy, and the other one focused on the boy child. But this year we're having more than 2 people speak about the boy child. All right, because he must be trained, he must be groomed. The truth is, a lot of marriages are having time today because the girl is groomed and the boy is not groomed.
Yeah.
So you're asking the woman to submit. Submit to what? It's easier for women to submit to people they look up to, not people they are managing. We are trying to manage and submit, and she's battling. How does she submit to somebody who lies to her children? If her value is truth, it's going to be difficult. But once we groom the boy child and we groom the girl child, that's heaven on earth. That's why the marriage, the union between a man and a wife in marriage is one of those is what God used to liken to heaven. Because we are the bride of Christ. Okay. So I appreciate you so much for coming. I like that train analogy that you gave. Also, in fact, that one I'm taking it home. That's why I take it away from this meeting.
Yeah.
I like that. It's just hidden it. I mean,
yes.
Once it disconnects, oh my God, the coaches don't leave. Everybody just goes their own path.
Yes, ma'am. That's it.
No wonder our site is the way it is. No wonder. It's my prayer. That's why we're making this commitment. That's why we're stretching. That's why we're going out of our way, gathering 30 incredible individuals to teach us one dimension of parenting or the other. If you are committed to this event, I'm sure that your life will be transformed. Even you, because sometimes parents are not able to give what they don't have. You didn't get it at home when your parents didn't teach you, or when they were teaching you, you didn't get it. Now we are back on it because that's the bedrock of the society. Okay. So thank you, everyone on YouTube. Thank you for joining today. So I will just ask one question, and that would be, what's your advice to somebody who wants to just start today? Is a man out there, he has not gotten it right, he has heard you this night, and is like, so where do I go from here? What one or two things would you want him to do?
Yeah, thank you. Today we are in a time our generation is a generation of knowledge. Why I am sold out to TINFA as a movement, the Institute of Marriage and Family Affairs, is because I found out that, so the lesson or the knowledge about marriage is structured. You can learn it. You can learn marriage. That is why I am tied to it. So, like coming from disruptive parenting, I have the book. People should learn to read. Wherever you have dysfunction or disadvantage. Like I said, I came from an abusive home, and God that helped me was that I met Christ and was discipled. So I could forgive the things I could understand better that it was not normal what my father was doing to my mother. So all the things that I soaked, as it were, I just I let them go. But today, a lot of people, what they soaked, they have not come face to face with something different. So anybody who is starting today, now you know that you can't give what you don't have. If you are not fortunate to have some parents who were above board, who were up to 50% in some of the things we are discussing in these 30 days, then you can unlearn and relearn. And also learn some other. So the book is there. A lot of other people you can follow, a lot of channels. There are people that have various niche when it comes to family life. There are people that have their channels, they have a niche in marriage. People have niche in parenting. There are boy-child parenting niche. People have channels you can go listen to them over and over. And by the time you hear these things, the entrance of the word, truth, has this way of changing us, and you're getting better. So those days we just thought, because a pastor lays his hand and say, I declare you husband and wife, the knowledge of marriage will come on your head. It doesn't work like that. You have to learn it. You have to follow the process. There are processes. As you're learning, you're doing. In that doing, you become, it becomes a way of life. So nothing has gotten spoiled. This knowledge is just to open the way to say, so this thing is doable. Once you tell yourself it's doable and you grade where I am, I need to be better. Any desire to be better, then there are mentors all around the place. And Amaka was also giving us a platform, having a niche on parenting that works, So why not look for a mentor that walk you through maybe a month, 2 or 3 months, and your questions are answered, then the person will be better off. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, thank you so much. Get a mentor. In fact, while you are talking, let me just mention this. If you are watching us on YouTube, watch out. Within this period, we are going to be launching a product, and the name of that product is Disruptive Fatherhood. I'm mentioning it for the first time, right?
That's good.
Somewhere within this program, we're going to be launching Disruptive Fatherhood. We are opening up the floodlight. We're focusing the floodlights on the man, on the boy child, because the absence of the fathers is not only affecting their boys, it's also affecting their girls. They are not validated.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right?
Is it?
So please watch out for it. We are going to bring it up within this program within 30 days, and we're going to heavily discount it. If you are able to cash in within these 30 days, it's going to come next to nothing. But after these 30 days, we'll take it up to where it's supposed to be cost-wise, right? So watch out for it. It's called Disruptive Fatherhood. Right? So again, thank you very much for coming. I like what you said. Please reach out and get help. If you have not bought the Disruptive Parenting book, please buy it. I'm not asking you to buy it because it's my book. The feedback we are having from that book is incredible. It's amazing. And you know, amazingly, for some strange reason, I have a lot of men reading that book. One who is a pastor, who has pastored for many years, told me he has pastored for many years, and then he's running a school with his wife. He told me that my book is constantly on his table next to his Bible.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you understand? I'm not going to buy that book because it's my book. I'm going to buy that because is the solution that you're praying for, right? And we also run the Disruptive Parenting Academy. Get certified, get knowledge if you are a parenting coach or you work with youths or you just want to become a consummate parent, right? Again, once again, thank you, big brother, for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for joining us. Please leave us in the comment section. Hey, see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. West African time. Remember, this is Amaka, and we are on the Disruptive Parenting Summit lasting 30 days from here. Thank you very much, sir. Bye, guys.
Bye.